beer.
It was.
Big beer.
Nice.
Megan has a pretty extensive craft beer knowledge from working in the Pittsburgh market for us.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't doubt it. And it's live, so even
All right,
though
we go.
it doesn't say it's
Yeah, let's
recorded.
go. I gotta mute my phone in this second. Yeah, I can't get this. Damn it. Hold on.
And with that is the greatest of beginnings after the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Arrogance and Ales. The Great Ape is suffering technical difficulties currently. We have a special guest with us. There he is. And regrettably, Josh is not going to be with us this week. His grandfather passed unexpectedly. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you, my buddy, my brother. And we'll see you next week. And we have a special guest with us. Special guest, please tell us who you are.
Hi, my name's Megan. I'm from Toppling Goliath Brewing. I'm their PA sales rep. So thank you for having me on here.
It's
Awesome.
As always.
Thanks for coming
Our
on.
pleasure. Yeah, thank you for coming on. The way we do it here in Arrogance and Ales is we talk about what we're sipping on. I then do the whole untapped of it all because, you know, it's social media. We're on social media. We do beer industry news, and then we talk to our special guests. So with that, why don't I start with special guest? What are you sipping on?
I am sipping on Dragon Fandango, my favorite toppling beer. It's a good one to start with. We are coming out with the pineapple papaya version of it, so I'm pretty pumped for that. That comes out in 2 weeks, so just getting excited for that.
So Megan, this is your fruited sour series?
Yes, the Fandango series. So they have different variants, but the pineapple papaya is going to be the first time release from the brewery. So pretty pumped for that one, just because I haven't tried it. So yeah.
It is got just over 28,000 check-ins, 4.2 ABV, and a 4.26.
That's
That's yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a number. So what do you like about it? How does it taste? Give us a little bit of the mouthfeel shows.
When you pour it in, it pours out like this bright pink color to start, so that's always fun. And it has passion fruit and dragon fruit. The dragon fruit is honestly a flavor that I think kind of slides through the cracks. It's not very potent, but just a really good fruited sour. So it's a kettle sour, so it's not very tart, so it doesn't like hurt my stomach after like some sours do. But yeah, it's pretty good.
I kind of feel like that's why a lot of the wild, barrel aged sours didn't really last. It had a short life in the industry. They're still around, but I mean, they were hot for a little while, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and they've definitely fallen off because it's hard to take a lot of that liquid in your stomach. It really is.
Oh yeah, I don't know how people crush them, because I feel like you're right. The wild sour series hit the market pretty hard and everyone loved that. And I feel like it's kind of an introductory sour for people that don't know what they like just because it says wild sour in the name. But I think kettle sours are more smooth. That's what I like about them.
100%.
You've got allies here. JJ and I are not heavy sour fans at all.
I'm going to King Sue right away, though. I'm going to start off.
Of course you are.
Why not?
I don't know.
And unfortunately, I have to drink out of a plastic cup because I'm at a baseball game right now, and it's a little league baseball game. I'm hiding in the top of the dugout up here.
I love it.
I like it. I can't wait to hear. Me like, "Boo sucks." You missed that call. What the hell? I can't wait. would you like to tell us about King Sue, or would you like me to read the untapped?
You
Go
can
ahead.
read the.
All right, I'll read it. This full-bodied hazy double IPA is citra hop with a juicy combination of mango, orange, and pineapple flavors, finishing with a grapefruit aroma and a ferocious bite. Now this is where it gets amazing. 7.8 ABV, just over 238,000 check-ins, and a 435.
That's
Holy
amazing.
That's
amazing.
just wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. I will say they're right on the money. It's got that fruitiness up front, and I love that bitterness on the back end. It's a great, well-balanced beer, man. It's a great, well-balanced IPA. 100%.
I spent so much time hunting that beer. That was one of those ones that when I got it in the first bottle, I was like, no one look at you. You are mine. Yes. That was definitely one of the, when I first got into craft beers, I was like, I will find this. I remember when I went to the Midwest and I could just get pseudo Sue, like just there. I was like, what? I'm sorry, where am I? What? This is awesome. Yes, give me more of you. Well, we got this brand Pipeworks. Get your Pipeworks out of here. I've had it 100 times. Yeah. All right. Megan, what we do on the show is it's the guys usually spend the day trying to get me hammered. So I always let you guys pick what I'm drinking because it's funny because I'm supposed to be the straight guy and it doesn't work by the end. I will tell you what I have here. I have the 120 miles from New Trail. It's a double IPA. Yeah, I only had bangers in my fridge today. This is going to be scary. I Need the Whole Slab, a passion fruit sour double IPA from Hidden River. I also have their Lava Channel double IPA. And what else do I got here? I have Intros into the Sand from Timber Ales. Oh, it's just a single IPA. What would you like me to start my journey on?
Good, Megan.
Do you want to start with the single IPA? Timber has some pretty beers.
Look at you. Wow. Like, listen, I don't care how much you know beer. To know Timber is still difficult. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
I used to sell some of their stuff in Pittsburgh. Didn't really hit the market too hard out here, but the beer is actually really good.
I always say, like, the first time I drank this beer, or the first time I ever had a Timber beer, Intros into the Sand. There we go. I was drinking it at night. I had just poured it into a glass, and I was no one was home in my house, so I had all the lights off, just watching a movie or something. And I go to drink it, and it's just straight solid, like I'm drinking OJ. And I'm like, all right, it's just because I got no lights on. So I take the flashlight from my phone, and I shine it to the glass, and it doesn't go through. I'm like, oh, you and I are going to be friends. So let's see if this one is an IPA collaboration from our friends at Resident Culture, dry hopped with Citra, Simcoe, and Mosaic. 760 check-ins, a 4.21 and 7.5%.
Nice.
So I will say that, yeah, even for an IPA, you can't see through it. There's nothing. It's wonderful. I don't know how you have a little league game, JJ, going on when it is a hurricane outside of my house right now. So
we're not that far. It's going to be really bad soon. Yes.
Yeah. Let me, come on, live up to it.
7% is pretty big for a regular IPA. I mean, that's
7.5. Yeah, they were just like I was like, I'm pretty sure there are a few brands that call that a double. Oh yeah. Yeah, the Citra and the Mosaic come through singingly. It's got a nice bite.
Megan, Faraz makes love to his beer, just so you know.
I was gonna. He really is liking that.
Yeah, listen, I am the arrogance in ales. I love it. I love it. I have no shame about it. I have always been. When I had a beer store, all the wholesaler reps would send their brand reps. They actually either wanted to break in really fast or hated to me, because they'd be like pitching me this stuff and be like, oh man, you should try this. It's amazing. And they're like, you're the only person who will go, no, no, no. I'll sell it if you show me numbers, but no. And people like JJ are like, oh yeah, I can see the value in this. Yeah, I'm like, no, get that out of here. No.
I'll try anything twice.
There's a marriage joke in there, JJ. There's definitely a marriage joke in there. So before I get JJ and myself in trouble, let's start to what's in the news. And a great one for me is Half Acre Draft is coming back fast with Buffalo Wild Wings. Their hoppy core is driving their business, and they're eyeing regional expansion. Half Acre is already ahead of schedule for its 2021 predictions. It is at its mix is currently 55% canned and 45% draft, which is a crazy mix for them. They have, to save themselves last year, they went to 12 packs of Daisy Cutter and Bodum, and soon there will be Tome in 12 ounces. So Half Acre managed to decline in low double digits for 2020. The tap rooms were extremely profitable. We took some lumps there from their CEO. Draft is back, 30%. They are, they say they're cautiously already at 30%. I'm sorry, their goal for the year was to be 55-45 by the end of the year. They're already to 30%. And their big headway they made is they have secured permanent lines at Buffalo Wild Wings. And they believe that along with the stadiums in Chicago opening up, they will reach to 40% before Q3. Funny thing is, they got rid of Vallejo as a seasonal IPA and bring it as just a limited. And then this is what happened to its sales numbers. It went up triple digits. Well, I guess if you take something and you take it away from people that like it, and then you give it to them again, they really like it. As in, it was shot up 278% last year to become the number 7 craft seasonal in its region. That's bananas. That's absolutely bananas. I like Vallejo. I don't know if I like it that much. They're looking into expansions into really Wisconsin. How are they not in Wisconsin? And Colorado. And that's a very interesting thing. They also found that we talked about this last week, that their sale to Hop Butcher of their Lincoln facility was considered. Some people were wondering, well, wow, why would you do this? And it was because they had so much at capacity at Belmar that they didn't need this other location. And they found that they could move that all to Belmar, fill the, and I know this because I just talked to the rep this week, fill the wild ale sections that they were actually still using Lincoln for in their tap rooms, and just make that profit. So it's very interesting. I like seeing good things out of a regional brewer. What do we think about it? Megan, what do you think?
I'm surprised. Out in the Pittsburgh market, it's completely different. It's like for the Philly market. So a lot of beers that have done well for you guys are just hitting Pittsburgh, and it's either hit or miss. But I mean, that's impressive that their draft numbers are going up that fast, especially with how, I mean, Chicago was still pretty shut down from what I heard. I also heard that there are certain restaurants that they're like only have to show your vaccination card to get it. I don't know how that works, to be honest. I like,
you can't.
That's what
because it's a HIPAA violation.
It's basically don't ask, don't tell, and let's roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go back to the Bill Clinton don't ask, don't tell, and just shut your mouth and let's roll with business. But let's get back to the 12 packs of Half Acre.
Yeah,
it really did help them, you know, during the pandemic, and they introduced a really good price, and I think that was a good move during a time that was really trying for the brewery being that draft was down so much. And Megan, you and I have talked about 12 packs, right? And you know where to go with that. You know what I'm talking about. So
what was the price point at for you guys? Or
half acre, what was it? 1997 or $20, right?
oh, wow.
$20.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
But it's Bodum and half acre. So Bodum is your normal IPA, which is great. Bodum's awesome. And your Daisy Cutter, so Daisy Cutter should be 1997, and Bodum probably too. It's not like they're putting Beer Hates Astronauts or something like that in there.
I wish.
Yeah, I know, but it was a good move for them.
They have actually had talks about variety packs, and in those talks for variety packs was one of the things they were saying is, could we do a either variety pack one-off exclusive, or putting one of those, like, one of their once a month or once a quarter releases in those. And that would be that. I think that's actually a cool concept. Cigar City did it before the pandemic. They would put one-offs in their variety packs, and I think that's actually a cool thing. I have bought variety packs in my life to get the weird beer that you can only get in the variety pack.
Yeah, but did you ever get a variety pack that, okay, so you got 4 beers, you got one that you're looking for, but the one you're looking for is like 6 months out of code, and the rest are good? It's happened. Like I bought variety packs. Oh, we got to get rid of this fucking beer,
Oh man, I haven't seen that in so long. There's a reason. There's a reason.
Well, I know Prairie does their sour mix pack. They rotate in their certain sours for that season. So, I mean, I think that's a cool idea. Like, even the New Trail Expedition packs, those are pretty awesome. Like, I think that's a cool concept. But
yeah, unfortunately for them, they started to get roasted on this on a couple Facebook pages, which was honestly uncalled for in my opinion, and I can't stand that kind of behavior. But I think they were great too.
Yeah. What were they saying on Facebook? Was it just like not for them?
You got a bunch of people that think they're beer professionals, and they say the beer is average at best, or they make fun of the beer that it wasn't great. And
gotcha.
So a lot of the complaint is that it's an expensive 4-pack. I mean, it is expensive 12-pack. Yeah. And so it's 4 beers you can't get anywhere else. So it's sort of like that. If they release those in 16 ounces, or at least, yeah, I just think it would have. Yeah.
And they did a lot of styles that weren't hypey,
Yeah, they did not hype styles.
A Schwartz beer, and they did a lot of non-hype beers. Which I like. I like that. When I was down at Two Rivers a couple of weeks ago, I sat down and had a Maibach, and I freaking loved it. I don't know. Try some different stuff. Branch out a little bit.
Branch out. All right. I am going to tap this off and go to my next one.
You know what my next one's going to be? Another King Sue.
I respect it. I think that's my next one too.
Oh, you people.
Right.
It's it's so smooth.
Yeah.
It's a little too smooth though. It's dangerous. That's why I have to. That's
why I like it. I do my best work around 8%. So that's
all right, JJ. Sour IPA or double from New Trail or double from Hidden River?
Do the New Trail.
All right. 120 miles. Let's look this bad boy up. I do my best work. I do my best work with Hazy. That's why one of my favorite shirts is Body by Hazy IPA.
I have that shirt. I could have worn it.
There we go. 120 miles. Click. All right. 120 miles is a hazy double IPA brewed in collusion with our dear friends at Hidden River. Oh, God, I don't get away from them all day today. Brewed with a blend of lush oats and heavy wheat. Pungently hopped with Mosaic Centennial Idaho 7. Expect notes of berry, evergreen, and light tropics. Embark on the expedition. We have just over 1,200 check-ins at a 407. It looks right. I like it. The right color. It's not as floral as the last beer. Oh, but it's so much. Oh, God, yeah. That's a good beer. Yeah. Man, that tastes. The Idaho 7, I really do love. It's also very, very pillowy. You can get that from the oats and the wheat. Like, ooh, yeah, son. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Excuse me.
Excuse me while I make love to my beer.
I want to see you not like a beer now.
Oh, no.
He doesn't. Then he'll go, no.
No, I just won't drink it. Like, it is the absolute worst for me because because everybody knows not only do I sell beer, I'm just like this giant beer head. And so everyone's always like, oh, Fraz, what are you drinking? Tell me what you're drinking so I could go get it. Like, what are you really loving on? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, why not? And I was like, I don't really drink the same beer twice because I'm an asshole. I just am. Like, I just want to try everything. I'm greedy. I just want lots. So I just like, if you look in my fridge, I will pay a dumb price for one because I would like 4 different ones, not 4 of the same ones. And I am the problem with craft beer. I know I am the problem with craft beer, but I also keep buying. So I'm also part of the solution. I don't know.
He's the reason why breweries release a different beer every week.
I was
easy there, double dry hop pseudo sue with your different one hops.
Because of you.
Oh, you mean DDH is a shelfie now? Oh, I had TDH last week at the brewery. It was awesome.
Exactly. You don't know nothing. I literally got into an internet fight, and this is now 8 years ago, with someone who told me, if you drink an IPA more than 7 days old, you do not know what the brewer was trying to brew.
What?
Exactly. 7 days old. And I was like, guy, do you know how old that beer is before you've even drank it?
Exactly.
Like, it's not 7 days old. It's not. I can't even. And if it dies in 7 days, I don't want that homebrew. Get that homebrew out of here. That is the stuff you made with your cousin. And 3 days later, it sucks because it sucked then too. But you just thought it was cool because you made it. That's right. I'm looking at you, JJ, with your homebrew. I was a home brewer. I remember making bad beer.
Yeah. I've made some bad batches. They sucked, and I made some good batches. That's just the way it is.
Your good batches suck too. You just think they were good.
Ouch. Someone's roasting.
You get a lot of emails. He can feel pretty good about himself for now.
I do. Listen, I'm a small man and I stand on lots of books. What can I say? Our next news topic, since all we got right now from the other two, peanuts in the gallery is just more King Sue. So at least you guys will be on the same. Listen, you're at least on the same vibration level as me, and I appreciate it. So, is tap rooms almost eked out growth in 2020? I read that title and I said bullshit. Classic bullshit all the way. Total craft beer production went down 9% over the pandemic, and it is the first decline since the 70s. So then how did tap rooms almost eke out growth? Brew pubs were hit the hardest. About half of the brew pubs reported numbers down 20% or more, with only 17% of them posting growth. On the surface, tough numbers provided by brew pubs might seem counterintuitive. but they would think that they had a greater leeway to staying open due to their food service. But they point out that the staying open for food may have actually hindered beer sales at brew pubs, reducing their bandwidth as they manage the complexity of to-go operations. Now, tap rooms nearly grew though. So surprisingly, the category only lost 0.1%. That's amazing because they could focus on the beer. With almost a third of tap rooms delivering growth in 2020 and only 26% showing declines of 20% or more. They clawed their way back to growth through pivoting sales to go sales and direct to consumer. All of those pivots, while bringing on additional costs, may have lowered revenue. So it's likely that revenue numbers, if provided, would have shown, while being greater, profits would go down. And micros and regionals down in line with total craft. So total craft was down 9%, regionals were down 11%. Well, that makes stupid sense. Like, I don't even understand what the difference is. Now, what do you guys think about that tap rooms maintain the ability to hang on?
I'm impressed, honestly. The places that I think wanted to stay open found ways to stay open. Like, there's a couple breweries out here that I think really tried. Like, they really tried to. You have to adapt to the times, basically, and I'd say most of the craft breweries did, and I'm impressed. A lot of places release some. They're doing takeout, pound delivery, stuff like that. A lot of them started distributing more too, so more accessible to people that didn't want to go out. I don't know. I'm impressed though. That I thought the number would be a lot lower.
I think you found a lot of them that it adapted well. They did curbside, they delivered, they did whatever they had to survive, and they found that some of them, were so hardcore anti-distro pre-pandemic, all of a sudden found themselves in a position where, oh shit, we got a distro, and that's what it came down to. But you got to do what you got to do to survive. I mean, that's just the way it is. And they innovated, and I thought it was great.
So Megan, you're from Pittsburgh, right?
Yes. So a brewery I was thinking about in particular was Trace Brewing. I don't know if you've heard of it. They're very new. They were planning on opening up. The whole food pandemic thing stopped them, and then they signed. Then they started distro and started sending some cases to Giant Eagle, some chains and stuff like that, because they had to. And their back was basically against the wall. They had all these cans ordered with labels printed on them, so they had to do what they had to do. So I mean, I think I was just very impressed with how everyone adapted with the challenges they were given. But yeah.
So who's your pick? I gotta get on that brewery now. I gotta write shit down. Brew Gentleman or Dancing Gnome?
I like Dancing Gnome.
Ooh.
Brew Gentleman. I mean, I like Brew Gentleman. They both make great beer.
Dancing Gnome's is way bigger. I mean, it's way more popular.
Yeah. It's more hype.
I remember, yeah, they both started relatively the same time though, right?
I think, yeah, pretty much. But you're right. Dancing Gnome kind of blew up where, I mean, Brew Gentleman did too. Don't get me wrong. They're very popular, and I mean, the liquid's good, but.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Is there a place out in Pittsburgh that's still open? It's a cigar lounge called, the guy's name is Island Jim. He's got like a hanging motorcycle from the ceiling. I forget the name of the lounge, but it's a really cool place.
Jernigan's?
Yeah. What's that?
Jernigan's? Does that ring a bell?
No.
Okay. That's a cigar and craft beer place. They have a couple different locations now. But
I'll remember the name then. I forget it.
I wanna go there. Can I go there?
Yeah.
The only place that serves beer here with cigars. Now there are two very decent cigar lounges here, or places that let you smoke cigars that have good craft selection. But a place that's telling me that you're a cigar lounge and craft beer bar, hi, yes.
Yeah.
That is all of my nerddom in one foul swoop, as they like to say. Is the place called Leaf and Bean?
Oh, there is another place called that.
Yeah.
Is that the place that you were talking about?
I forget the name of it now. The guy's name's Island Jim. He makes some cigars for us, and I've seen pictures of it, and the place looks really cool.
Yeah.
That's
there's one at the strip.
Yeah, that's him.
It's called Leaf and Bean.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fraz has the internet. Fraz knows the internet. Yes. Again, great ape. Go back to eating your crayons.
I'm the freaking ape. I'm the silverback.
All right. Before we get to our next topic, let's just get to know our special guest, Megan. Please tell us how you got into the industry. What got you into the industry?
Okay. I started bartending, and we had 12 different taps at the bar that I worked at, which doesn't sound like a lot because now places have like 50 plus. But just having to learn them, and we did sixtels only, so it'd be a new draft every like 2 days, which was awesome because we would rotate beer pretty fast. And then from there, I started at Steel City Beer Wholesalers, where I was just a territory sales rep. So it was a very craft wholesaler. Our biggest brands were New Trail, Blake's Prairie. We had a contract with 12% Brewing. So we got McFadden Cat, Abomination. Yeah. Equal Twin, stuff like that. Some really great brands. And from there, I got promoted to their sales manager. And then soon after that, I switched jobs to Toppling Goliath. So I love craft beer. It's been fun. It's been a fun journey learning and trying new beers all the time, especially with Steel City. I saw a lot of new beers come in and out, whether they made it or not. I got to try them, and some were crazy. But like Omnipolo has some pretty crazy beers, but super fun. Love the industry. It's just been great. And my story.
It is funny when you talk about the draft lines. 12 doesn't sound like a lot. 12 is perfect. Yeah. Because when I go to a restaurant local to here, and they have 40 on tap, and every time I go in there, nothing appeals to me. I don't know. It's just overwhelming. It's too much. 12's perfect.
I feel like the beer doesn't rotate as much, so it doesn't change. So like every time you go in, it's like the same thing. Especially places that do have, once you get too many beers, you start dealing with a lot of like old beer out of code problems, just because like there's places that market 1,000+ beers, and it's not really possible to sell through all that. But I mean, it is a cool concept having a lot of different options, but I do think that it gets a little hairy sometimes, too many.
20 taps.
Having 40 is like an ego thing. That's all.
Exactly.
20 is the beautiful number. You can have your macro lines and your permanent cider lines, and you have it all nice. And then I can play with other things, because if I only have 12 and I have to have my stupid big 3 on, then I don't have enough to play with. My bar, one of my bars was 20, the other one was 24, and the other one was 18. But I had 6 permanents, so I felt the 12 lines tight. But my craft bar, like the one that was my baby, that was all sixtels. We were 100% all sixtels. It was, the same guys getting out of work, and 2 days later they got a different beer on that line, and they were always super happy. That's why they came to me the most. And yeah, I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
craft beer bar should be run, I think. Sixels all the way. So you rotate through, creates hype around it. I just think it's the way.
So, favorite beer and favorite TG beer, so I don't get you in trouble.
That's fair. That's fair. My favorite TG beer is actually, I really liked Mosey so far. And then I can't choose one just because I feel like the different styles are pretty different. But I did like Cherry Fandango. That's one of my favorites too. That, Mosey, and then my favorite all-time beer. Now, I think it was the way I drank it. I don't know if that makes sense, but Pirate Bomb from Prairie.
Oh yeah.
Good. But we did this, we put like a mocha flavored, I know this sounds like I ruined a great beer, but we did a mocha flavored slushy event and topped it with that, and it was incredible. But yeah,
Pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
And a lot of times it's not what you're drinking, it's where you're drinking it, it's the environment, it's what's going on, there's a lot to it.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with that.
My favorite is Pow Pow from Trillium and Lawson's. And I think one of the reasons is at that moment, it was one of the hypiest beers you could get your hands on in the world. And I had one right the day it was released. It was like, mm-hmm. But when I drank it, I was like, oh, fuck, this was the beer that I would buy cases of. And I haven't had it since. I think they've changed the name and made it something else, but no.
Was it all about the gram that day, Fraz?
No. No.
No.
No. I'm not into hoe. I'm not into beer hoe. What I was though is I kept the scalps on the walls. So I ran a beer store, and then I ran the draft line program for our restaurant group. And in the beer store, the walls were lined with can stickers. And then the one section was like the best, like went there, and it was dead red. Like, yes, dead red.
They called the game, so
I
gotta roll soon, but we can finish this stuff.
Now you're gonna be the only one there. We won't see random people in the background or yelling. And
yeah, I'm gonna get locked in this freaking building, and I want to get out of here.
All right. So next topic then, since JJ's got a roll, and this is a topic we talked about last week, and we're going to talk about again, is that the new thing is going to be THC beverages. Oh, yeah. And when is it going to be go time for THC beverages in the United States? Acreage is bringing Tweed. I love it. Tweed THC infused drinks to Illinois and California this summer. We haven't been given a clear date, but we have been saying sometime in the summer. Acreage has the rights to bring our products to the U.S. Acreage plans to launch Tweed drinks over the next several months. Their take on it's Canopy's recipe. They produce it basically as what they have without THC and with THC. Our brands, our recipe. Who will distribute it? Well, distribution makes sense to go with Constellation. Why? Because the company is owned by, hey, drum roll, Constellation. What work needs to be done over the next 6 months? I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I know that beer distributors and wine and spirit distributors want to figure this out. They want to make sure we have the right people in the right place. And I think what we need to do over the next 6 months is to figure that out, no matter the regulatory stance. There's a huge, long thing. Will they be allowed to advertise it? So far, everything is said no. They won't be allowed to advertise it. I'm just super interested what do we think about what's coming up? Megan.
I don't know. I mean, I actually kind of thought it would be sooner that they'd hit the market, to be honest. I'm wondering what the price point's going to be and the ABV on it. Like, I'm a little like curious about both of those. But I think it'll be hype for a little bit, but I don't see it taking off like completely. I mean, I don't know. I think
So wait, did you say that they're going to mix alcohol with the THC?
Oh
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I
So
thought
right
that was
now,
going to be taboo.
so right now they're going to release this year, no non-alc, just THC infused drinks. But then it's still going to have to go, and they're trying to figure out who's going to do it. If it's going to be through the wine distribution channel, and basically make it like an RTL, or I mean RTD, or if they're going to bring it through their beer distribution channels. Yeah, it's not taboo, but it's still really like it's only in Canada. Like my wholesaler has a Collective Arts, and Collective Arts in Canada has CBD and THC drinks with alcohol in it. But they're like, yeah, we don't see that anytime soon. But I'm like, oh, that'd be cool though. I'd love to be that shit. Jesus.
I guess I just don't understand. Like, I understand how THC affects you, but I don't understand the buildup when you eat it and mixing it with alcohol. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know.
yeah.
It's a freaking bomb, man. When you know what it's like. You have about 6 beers in you and you smoke a bowl and you're just freaking whacked.
That is true.
I love the both of you aren't being like, well, the 6 beers had something to do with it.
Well,
No,
whatever.
it's
You know what I mean.
bowl.
6, 10,
Bowl. Also, that we expect everybody to know what that 6 beers in bowl. There's a lot about the 3 of us right now.
So
I think you tell about ourselves real quick.
Carter's holding the phone right now while I'm driving.
Like it.
So we can continue this podcast just for you.
Thank you, Carter. Thank you, Carter. All right. I'm going to down this and start something new and then get into the one very sensitive topic, JJ. Modern Times CEO steps down amid a corrosion of internal culture. I don't want to go into all the horrible things because it's fucking horrible. He's a bad person and he needed to fucking leave. Thank you for goddamn leaving. But you know one of the reasons he had to leave? Do you know what happened?
No, I don't know much about this story.
You don't need to. You really don't. He's a bad person. But what you need to know is that what happened is in Modern Times Oakland, do either of you know what happened there? Do you know, Megan?
I heard some rumor, but I don't know if this is true, but I'll let you.
They went on strike and wouldn't sell Modern Times beer there. They went to work. They agreed to work, sell food and any guest beers, but they refused to sell Modern Times beer because of the corrosive environment. And listen, power to the people, man. The struggle is real. No, I'm just saying. Whatever. It's the truth, though. Like, and this is the only thing that gets. That's a huge brewery to take out their president. Like, that's a huge brewery to take one down. And he's horrible and just ugh, I can't. I just. I mean, also the fact that big of a brewery didn't have an HR harassment policy. How? You have hundreds of employees. Your Link Beverage has a harassment policy. And what do you got? 20 employees, JJ?
Yeah, you know what my harassment policy is? I don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
well, you got
don't
20
tolerate it. So I don't know.
Well, sure, but you only got 20 goddamn people. Like they didn't have a harassment policy in place. So nobody even knew how to go to anyone to help them. That's awful.
I also want to be careful here because this is all stuff that's created on the internet. And while it needs its place, and I understand it does, and a lot of stuff does need to get aired out. I don't like the mob mentality, and I just don't like to engage in it, I don't know if that makes any sense to you or not.
It does. It's still not wonderful every time you say it to me. I still don't like it.
Well, what do you want me to say? I mean, the internet sucks, man.
Yes,
and
I agree.
there's always 3 stories to every freaking story. And
My side,
I'm
your
not
side,
saying that the stories don't need to be brought out, but there's no defense and there's no like trial. It's just like you're roasting people, and I don't know, man. I wish it did. I wish the internet didn't exist sometimes.
But JJ, don't make me go back to having to buy porn at a 7-Eleven. I just don't want to have to do it, man. I'm old. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Megan. I'm sorry.
Look.
He's laughing.
I've made it this far in the beer business, and I can honestly tell you that you won't read any stories about anything I've done or said, which I'm proud about. But I also know enough that there are stories that are told that are fabricated over time, and the story was a lot different when at the time it happened. So I just want to be careful that I just wish people were more careful. That's all. I don't know.
No, I agree with that. I think sometimes over the internet, people just like manipulate words. They might have been said, but make the situation a little bit different. So, yeah. I mean, I agree.
And Megan, you probably know. I mean, you're a woman in the industry.
Don't.
I mean, I'm not asking. Listen, I don't want you calling anybody out. But I mean, I'm sure you've been made to feel uncomfortable. I mean, it's just the way it's. I don't know.
Still not okay. Yes, the way that it is does not mean it's okay, though.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay. It's not okay. But it's and you probably have been. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Oh, I mean, honestly, I will say I've been like pretty impressed with the community. I really haven't faced that many problems, and I'm going to be fully transparent. I mean, yeah, I've been impressed. That's all I have to say. For every company.
That's great.
You also, so here's the thing. And for you, you work in a urban environment, though. Mm-hmm. Don't you think that has a little, I think that has a little help is the sad way of saying it, but like that has a little bit to do with, the fact that it's the same as, oh, well, why is there quote unquote, God, I don't want to walk into any of this. Josh was right. Less racism in major cities. It's because you see Black and brown people. Like that stuff is normal to me. I remember growing up where I've grown up and then going to school in the middle of our state where there were no Black and brown people and being like, oh, wait, this is different than what I know. And I'm like, hey, this is weird. Wait, why are there not more brown people? Where are they all? Help me. And I definitely understand that. And yeah, I just think it's a good thing. Listen, we need to get the old guard out of every place. Hollywood, get rid of them. Beer, get rid of them. Every industry, just get rid of people who think
a lot of these stories that came out, are just basically owners and managers just being gigantic douchebags, and it has nothing to do with, some of them, I should say half of them, had nothing to do with sexism. They were just gigantic douchebags, doing asshole things and being arrogant and our position in life. And never be comfortable where you are, never be comfortable in your position, and you just strive to be a good person, and that's all you should do.
I think that's right. And I think on that, kids, that's probably a good
Get rid of the fucking internet.
No, wait. Just still watch
All
us
right.
though.
I'm go-
How are they
I'm
gonna
home.
get rid of us? If they don't, they gotta still watch us though. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that, be good to each other.
Yeah, you gotta watch
Be
it.
good to everybody. Yeah, exactly. Don't get rid of social media just yet. Just don't be an asshole. That's all we want. We just don't want people to be assholes.
Right.
That's all. Listen, because that person that you're being an asshole to could have a really good idea. If they're an asshole, let them earn it just because they're an asshole, and then dismiss them because they're an asshole. Nothing else. That's the only reason.
Oh, and they'll do it. Do it. And just give them a little time. They'll do it on their own.
Exactly. You don't have to discriminate. That's just horrible. I hate everyone equally. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Arrogance and Ales. I'm Fraz.
I'm
Oh,
JJ.
JJ.
And I'm Megan. Sorry.
There we go. Thank you for watching.